I've worked as IRC Human Resource Manager. Okay, I have roots there. I just understood.
Every DCC all over the country.
He's from Burundi or Rwanda.
And for 7 days to talk about tribal.
Our bursary.
Okay, the lady here is telling the president the same message he has been taking to the people in other sub-regions. The tribalism in Uganda police, the nepotism in Uganda police is a problem also in Lango sub-region.
Yes, comrades, thanks for joining in again. Thanks for coming back. Yes, the president of the National Inter-Platform, His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, yeah, the gentleman you see putting on a bulletproof, not for fun, but of course to prevent himself from the bullets that they want to shoot at him. So he's heading to Kole. Yeah, Kole is in Lango sub-region and he's speaking now. He's already in the district. Anytime from now, he's going to be delivering his speech to the people of Kole. I told you the people of Kole, for now, they are close to 500,000 Ugandans living in that district, which is part of Lango sub-region. Yeah. So, anytime from now, we are going to hear the revolutionary message from the president to the people of Kole. Yes.
Somebody.
Meet Kiro Diggs. I don't even know your name. I know what to mute, brother, and what to leave.
The scenery needs to be worked on. You know how it's coming. The roads are bad, the schools are bad in the north.
The roads, the schools, the same problems like everywhere we've been.
People still don't have desks, roofs over their heads. The issue of
Agriculture.
the health because we are reaching corners in sub-county.
Can we have
we have ordered for it. It had an accident here. So they had to move their the fence for another one. Here.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Do people still crocodile?
Like I told you in the morning, the crops grown here, agriculture is the main activity here in Lango sub-region. Almost all regions depend on agriculture. People grow annual crops such as maize, beans, groundnuts. This is Lango sub-region.
Kyagulanyi queer, Itebola unu queer. Robert Kyagulanyi. Robert Kyagulanyi. Yeah. Itebola unu queer, Itebola unu queer.
This is Kole district. This is Kole district.
Beneficiaries don't work. Then there is the issue of the veterans who have not been compensated. Each time they go to claim for their pension, it's been for 30 years they haven't got it. So that is one of the concerns.
Have the veterans. The cotton growing has gone tremendously down.
You have the roads, you have the health system. The national thing that is not being divided equally. They are also concerned.
Careful, my brother. Yeah, these guys are actually coming. Let's go. I don't know. Let's go. Guys are coming. They fix them. They fix it when they get them.
Give him his clothes. Yes, and you give me Lona Yunus Akulu.
Candidate for Bogatan Council.
Yes.
And I know.
Yes.
I don't know. Be careful. Yeah. Like the 2 times in that area. Actually, I'm a candidate. For the coordinator, and he's very solid leader. And to catch our market, we need to be alive. And everybody is still alive.
Lona Eunice Akuro is our candidate for Woman MP Kole district. Lona Eunice Akuro, the lady seated with the president there, is our flag bearer for Kole district Woman MP seat. Lona Eunice Akuro, the iron lady you're seeing there. Akulu? Oh, Lona Eunice Akulu. Lona Eunice Akulu is our flag bearer for Kole Woman MP district. Very strong and courageous. We are into the dust again. This is a norm in many parts of the northern region of Uganda. Lona Eunice Akuro. Mama, you have a mask. You put a mask and yeah, so that the dust. When we get to town, you remove it. I wish you also had glasses. I wish you also had glasses for the eyes, but anyway, this is Uganda. Lona Eunice Akulu is our candidate. Is our candidate for Woman MP Kole district. We are heading to the rally venue in Kole district. This is Lango sub-region, region devastated with poverty. Someone would think it's not part of Uganda. It's part of Uganda, and very many Ugandans here contribute to the national economy by paying taxes on everything they purchase, but they remain under poverty. Why? Poor planning and corruption in this country.
Yes, this is a reminder to our comrades out there. Actually, I'm reading a comment from Weruzi Mulindwa. People make sure masks, make your masks on polling day. Everyone must have a mask. We must avoid excuses. Yes, that's a very good statement out there. Everyone should come with a mask to avoid any excuses. You know, Museveni is going to do anything to frustrate us. If we can behave like this in this campaign, then what about during elections? So let us be well prepared. We come with our masks on, but as well let us come when we are very determined, because this is a protest vote. It's already not free and fair. The campaigns can spell it. So that's the message out there. I want to, as the president is going to the rally venue, the network is a bit on and off, but at least let me feed you with this message from the president.
Yes.
Yeah, here it is.
If you can watch inside the lens, would be great.
Okay. Yeah. To the government, the president, of course, and the entire executive, I want you to know that this is not a war. We don't hate you. We say this because we love our country and we love our generation and we want to be in a better Uganda. You promised us lots of things, but we have been disappointed constantly. All we are looking for is the opportunity to do things ourselves in our home. When you were our age, you did not accept these kinds of injustices. There's no reason why you should expect us to accept that in our age. That's all. We want to do that constitutionally and peacefully and for the betterment of our country. Yeah. To all of you Ugandans, it's important for you to know that this is your country, this is where you are born, and this is where you are going to be buried. It's important not to expect everything from the politicians or from the government. So get involved. Don't leave matters to the politicians alone. No, get involved. And most importantly, do not fear, because fear is the only barrier between us and the country we want to live in. One day we shall be reminding ourselves of this struggle, and that is when we are on the other side of freedom. So hang in right there. We're also hanging in right there. We'll get the liberation that we deserve.
Hello Ugandans, our country's former glory is all gone. Corruption rates are alarming, service delivery is at its worst, and women are dying while giving birth. Unexplained murders everywhere, and the judiciary is a mockery. Our children face an uncertain future, where unemployment is the order of the day. The national debt has turned us into slaves, and the gun has become the master. The one-time pearl of Africa is now a laughing stock among nations. All our public assets have been sold, and as if it's not enough to satisfy their appetite, after selling almost all public properties, the government now wants to take people's private land. You have put your names on the national wall of shame. Remember, that there will be a time when you must account for this nonsense. You should think about how you want to be remembered, whether as men and women who loved their country or as people who thought only about themselves. You should also remember that you swore an oath to bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda and uphold its constitution. You did exactly the opposite of what you sought to do. And before I forget, I want to thank those few patriotic NRM MPs. You are heroes, and please maintain your stand. Do not bow down to pressure. And to President Museveni, in 1986, you asked for 4 years to reorganize the country and hand over power to a civilian government. We agreed. You personally said that Africa's problem was not the people, but the leaders who overstay in power. In 1990, you asked for 5 more years to be able to enact a durable constitution for the nation, and then go. We agreed. In 1995, you asked for a new mandate under the constitution. You asked for 5 more years. We agreed. In 2001, you requested the nation to renew your mandate for the last constitutional term. We agreed. In 2005, you moved to remove presidential term limits. You told us that you wanted only 5 years to be able to consolidate your achievements. We agreed. And then in 2011, you came back. You campaigned under the Prosperity for All slogan. You promised that poverty would be history in Uganda after that term, and that you would return to Rwachitula and look after your cows. These were your words. 2016 came, and again you came back, asking for the very, very last term. Yes, in a televised address, you told the nation, and you swore that you would certainly not lead beyond 75 years of age. You told us that after 75, a leader would no longer have the vigor required to run a country.
That one, I think that one we had ignored. We had not discussed it. It can be discussed, but since we had not, but I think after 75, the vigor, I think there's some scientific idea there that maybe the vigor is not as much after 75 years. So that one I wouldn't quarrel with some. I know there are some leaders who have been leading even beyond 75, but I think if you want very active leaders, it's good to have the ones below 75.
So are you saying you wouldn't go beyond 75 yourself, sir?
Not at all.
So are you saying you wouldn't go beyond 75 yourself, sir?
Not at all.
You promised that your last term would be a term pledging to fight and end corruption. Well, Mr. President, you have failed us on all these promises, and our hope was that you would end your term in 2021 and give way for the nation to begin a new chapter. And if you do that, the nation will be grateful for your contribution. Mr. President, Bob Marley said, you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. You cannot lie to a whole nation and think each time you will get away with it. As a good reader of history, you should remember that history repeats itself with leaders who thought they were wiser than their generations. Those who thought that populations were gullible and easily manipulated. Usually there comes a time when people are tired. Ugandans are tired. They have been patient with you. They have been respectful and generous with you, knowing that in 2021 a new dispensation will come. Please do not abuse our trust and patience. Our children want to emulate a leader who does not lie to the country on national TV. Come out and repeat what you said on NTV's Patrick Kamara program when he asked you if you would go beyond 75 years. Not at all. Certainly not. That's what you said, Mr. President. And as the first citizen of Uganda, you should come out and inspire the nation to always be truthful to their word. Because as they say, a man is as good as his word. We cannot continue to have a president whose word we can no longer trust. enough is enough. Now to you, my fellow Ugandans, especially the younger generation, I know you know the things I'm talking about because most of the problems I have mentioned affect you every day. Poverty, unemployment, uncertainty, exclusion, violence at the hands of the state, and many others. We only have this one chance. No matter your tribe, no matter your religion, no matter your political affiliation or creed, poverty and these terrible conditions in our country do not discriminate. Article number 1 of our Constitution says all power belongs to the people. We are the people. I want to call upon all leaders, from religious leaders, cultural leaders, leaders of the business community, members of civil society, leaders of educational institutions, journalists, bloggers, fellow artists, and all of you fellow Ugandans. Please don't keep quiet on this very sensitive matter on the future of our country, Uganda. As it has been said before, and now seems real in our times, that the world is suffering not because of the words of the evil people, but because of the silence of the good people. Speak up, or else your children in future will ask you what you did when the nation came to this point. Begin today and exercise your God-given right. Call your member of parliament, or better still, pay them a visit and demand for accountability. Stand up and speak up. Rise up before it's too late, my brothers and sisters. And if you believe the words I'm saying are true, please translate this into your own language and into all the languages you know. Social media is available. Let us make use of this modern technology to emancipate ourselves, because the time is now. Make use of it now. Spread this word. Make sure everybody gets to know about this. Make sure everybody gets involved, because we are the country, we are the future, and the future is today. Thank you very much for God and my country.
Yes, that is the speech from the president. You might think he made it yesterday or last week. That was way back in 2017. Way back in 2017. You can imagine the speech is still very fresh and very up to point. He's still heading to Kole district, where he's going to have his first rally. But I'm going to be giving you speeches, different ones. Let me give you the one he made immediately after nominations, the one he made before he was brutally arrested. That speech he made, and then the police, together with the military and the UPDF, meted the violence at very many of our comrades, including Eddie Mutwe, including our spokesperson, Joel Senyonyi. Up to now, he's still not in good shape, and very many others. Yeah, it was a very powerful speech. A very powerful speech.
For these past 3 years, which have been years as full of challenges, I take this opportunity to also announce that what we are witnessing right now is the launch of a very critical phase in our struggle to liberate ourselves from a dictatorship which has crippled our country for almost 4 decades. A dictatorship which has strangled our economy with a massive corruption, patronage, high cost of living, a sick healthcare system, a broken down healthcare system, etc., etc. For a very long time now, we have lamented and cried about the government which works for only the few and excludes the majority. Well, today we close the book of lamentation and open the book of Acts. It is time for action, action that will put an end to the injustices, the oppression, and the impunity in our beautiful country, Uganda. Countrymen and women, I come before you not as the most qualified, not as the most experienced, but I come before you as the most committed to lead this liberation, to lead the people of Uganda out of slavery. Countrymen and women, for the last 58 years, our nation has suffered. So many problems have befallen our nation, but key among them has been dictatorships. Each one trying so much to outdo the one before it in violence, in looting, and in plunder. We have not witnessed a peaceful transfer of power from one leader to another since our country became independent in 1962. Unfortunately, friends,
15 years ago, when we had the chance to witness the first peaceful transition of power. 15 years ago, President Museveni, through greed, he denied our nation an opportunity of experiencing a peaceful transition of power from one leader to another, from one generation to another. And as if that was not evil enough, only 3 years ago, this greed caused him to act in the most shameful manner and remove the last safeguard in form of age limit from our constitution. Like Idi Amin, Museveni declared himself president for life in our country, Uganda. Well, little did he know that God will one day raise a generation that will not take that. Little did he know that God will raise unexpected people from unexpected places. So, to you, Mr. Museveni, since you have failed to control your greed and lust for power, our generation is determined to save you from yourself and stop your 35-year-old dictatorship. The liberation and socio-economic transformation of our country cannot be achieved unless we first remove the big obstacle, and that is Museveni, who has undermined all institutions of state and instead institutionalized corruption in Uganda. And of course, he has institutionalized human rights violations. Fellow Ugandans, I'm offering myself as a candidate of the highest office in this land, as a representative of the oppressed Ugandans. My background is well known to you, all of you, born hustling and born to hustling parents, raised in the ghettos of Kamocha, but fortunate enough to raise on top courtesy of my talent and hard work. It is now this background that has enabled me to understand the struggles of the common Ugandans. 35 years ago, Museveni started feeding off taxpayers' money and living in absolute abundance. Him and his cronies are completely detached from the common person, and no wonder they mock our people, because they've impoverished them, battered them, and suppressed them. And that is why in this election, I am representing the weak, I am representing the poor, I am representing the downtrodden, I am representing those that have been excluded from a system which works only for a few, and of course, sitting and stepping on the necks of the many. I am representing the overtaxed business people. I'm representing the parents that have sold all their land to take their children to school, and now their children cannot find jobs. I am representing the border riders who are persecuted every day after being made to pay large sums of money. I am representing those wives and mothers that cannot afford maternal health. I am representing the business person who borrows money at high rates and cannot figure out how to pay it. I'm representing the local suppliers who were kicked out of government tenders simply because they don't know anybody in government. I am representing poor Ugandans who have lost land to the powerful land grabbers, and many of them are in government. Yes, those who cannot get justice because justice under Museveni is for sale. I am representing the poor soldiers, the police officers who are so oppressed, yet they are commanded to beat and kill citizens who they are supposed to protect simply because they must appease the rich. Those rich and the mighty are the ones we are standing against. In this election, gentlemen and ladies, I am representing the hardworking people of Usoga that have been deliberately kept poor by the NRM regime. I am representing the great people of Acholi, whose land is being stolen in broad daylight by the regime and its cooperatives. I am representing the people of Lango, who have been deliberately marginalized and disempowered for the past 3 decades. They have been deliberately marginalized and squeezed. I am representing the impoverished people of Karamoja, who are kept under the barrel of the gun while their gold, their copper, their cobalt and iron ores are stolen away by the rich and mighty. I am representing the people of Bunyoro, who live and grow cheap crops on the oil that is theirs. Yes, their oil has been kept in the dark because they are looked at as they don't have a right to know what is happening in their land. I am representing the people of Bugisu, whose past glory has been shattered by the present regime. Their cooperatives, which kept them rich and productive, were destroyed by the regime. I am representing the people of Chigezi who work so hard to earn little. I am representing the people of Bukedi who have been turned into beggars on their own land. Representing the people of Uganda whose land has been grabbed and they are left poor. They are made beggars. They are made slaves on the land of their grandfathers. I am representing all the people of Uganda, ladies and gentlemen. Representing the people of Toro, the people of Rwenzori who live in constant fear because of the brutal regime. Those who are battered in 2018, whose wounds are still fresh in the minds. I represent them. I represent the youth who are very hardworking and yet they have no way to break through the yoke of oppression. The youth that work so hard but don't have the means of production. They don't have no land, they don't have no capital, and they have limited or no opportunities. These are the people I am representing. I am representing this section, the vast majority who are oppressed, yearning for freedom. I'm representing the journalists who cannot even peacefully practice their work without being harassed and beaten by the regime. I am representing the health workers who are paid peanuts for doing great, incredible work. I am representing my mother who was a nurse, who had 10 children and who died a miserable life because when she got an accident and put in Molago casualty, she had to stay there an hour in a hospital she served for more than 20 years. I am here to speak for her, even though she cannot speak no more. These are the people that I'm representing. Fellow Ugandans, I present myself to you as a servant, not as a boss. While our detailed plan of action towards our new Uganda will be presented to you through our manifesto, allow me very briefly, because we don't have time, to state just a few things that we will run based on. Most importantly, I want you the people of Uganda, to know that we are going to run a people-centered government which focuses on these areas. Our agenda, first and foremost, is freedom. We want to ensure that all Ugandans, regardless of who they are, of where they come from, are free in their country. All Ugandans must enjoy the freedom of expression, the freedom of conscience, the freedom to disagree with those in power, the freedom to assemble peacefully, and yes, the freedom to worship, and all other freedoms which have been, of course, taken away by the regime. So number one, I intend to increase the pay of the security forces. Let me say that again. I intend to increase the pay of our security forces. The pay of our soldiers, police officers, and prison officers is so miserable. It must be improved. If I become president, we'll have the privilege to know what the classified budget really does. Such a huge amount of money will be used to improve the pay of our security forces so that they can live a better life. When I'm president, the lowest paid soldier or police officer will be earning 1 million shillings. Let me say it again. When I am president, the lowest earning police officer or soldier or prison officer will be earning 1 million shillings. I will improve their housing and health care. Low-ranking and middle-ranking officers must be entitled to free quality health care as the high-ranking officers. Our government will find opportunities for the spouses of the soldiers and police officers to ensure that they are each contributing to the livelihood of their families. I also intend to streamline the promotion criteria in the armed forces and, of course, in the police, which will be based on merit and not technical know-how. Never again will soldiers be forced to join the police. I say this again. Never again will soldiers be forced to become police officers like we see today, because they had the option of joining the police, but they decided to join the army. In our plan, the better option is not to recruit from the police, from the army to the police, but instead to improve and empower the police so that they can become better and operate better. The children of the soldiers and the police officers will be entitled to free education up to university. There is no greater sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen, than serving in uniform. And it will be our deliberate plan to ensure that our men and women in uniform in dignity. I firmly believe if we do this, I strongly believe that if we do this, then our armed men and women in uniform will have respect for the citizens. In a new Uganda, there will be mutual love and respect between those in uniform and the ordinary citizen of Uganda. When I become president, we shall introduce a contract arrangement for the security officers. In other countries, one can serve in the military, and after some time, they resign when they are still young. And of course, they resign with a better retirement package. But today, they are all tied. Even when they want to resign, they cannot. One should be proud to serve in the military or in the police and resign. So we shall make it on contract, so that we make that job so nice for you to work. Number 2, in the new Uganda, there will be access to affordable quality health care for all Ugandans, and this will be priority in terms of budgetary allocations. Effective supervision, of course, will be there, but health can be fixed. I'm not here to preach as a professor or a very experienced person in health, in the health sector, but I want to tell you, only following the Abuja Declaration of raising the budgetary allocation to 15% of the national budget, we are going to have a perfect healthcare system. And yes, we will do it. Number 3, education. We all know that education is what paves way for a new. Maybe if I did not get the rare opportunity to education, I would still be in. But now that I'm here, it has to work for everybody. It has to be transformation for every ghetto youth. I've told you before about our education, and I will emphasize that we'll have the 4 A's that we'll focus on in our education. And empower the academics, we will arts, we will empower the athletics, and of course, we shall empower agriculture. We shall deal with unemployment, and of course have a whole lot of job creation. I might not have to sedate on that, but I can guarantee you that by 2025, we have created 1 million jobs. And I sign because I will be president. Number 5, agriculture. Well, agriculture remains the backbone of our economy. And even if it is being disrespected and given no attention, our government intends to zone this country and ensure that each zone has a cash crop and a food crop. Friends, this is not rocket science. It is not going to begin with my presidency. It has been done before. It is a question of waking it up. When I was growing up, every region of this country had a cash crop and a food crop. We don't have that anymore. Why? Because the regime has different priorities, among which, or number 1 of which, is retaining power. But when I'm president, you are going to see that with your own eyes. And yes, we shall ensure access to proper input and promote good agricultural practices, and of course, value addition. We shall revamp coffee production, because when I was growing up, coffee production is what put us on the world map. I can guarantee you that our government will ensure that by 2025, Uganda exports 50 million bags of coffee. 50 million. And I sign because I will be president. Science and technology. I cannot talk so much about this, friends. Many of you are members of my generation, and you know how this is going to revamp our country. Our government will focus on promotion of science and technology as a catalyst for economic growth and development. This is going to be done through allocation of funds to schools that are specifically majoring in that. And of course, we shall establish innovation hubs in every sub-region of Uganda. Our school-going children should receive world-class ICT, because I believe that we Ugandans, we are first world brains stuck in a third world country. And yes, Uganda is not a third world country. It is only our leaders that are third world leaders. Now, you got a first world leader. Let's go for that. Number 7, access to water and electricity. Friends, the vast majority of Ugandans have no access to clean water. But our government is going to ensure that every household in Uganda has access to clean water. In terms of power supply, we shall ensure that more households are connected to the power grid. However, we shall also pursue a deliberate policy of ensuring that households in rural areas have access to solar power. This can be done, and this will be done. Fellow Ugandans, there are many other things that we plan to do for this nation, some of which are put in our manifesto. This regime has destroyed many, many dreams of Ugandans. But today, I want to say to you, please dare to dream again. Please dare to hope again. Friends, dare to believe again. Our nation has been reduced into a laughing stock among nations. But once again, we shall rise to be the true pearl of Africa that we have been known for. Nothing can defeat people united, especially if we are united by conviction. A people united can never be defeated. 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 Yes, and also I want you to know that nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. Our story as NUP and as People Power, and also my individual story, friends, is a story of commitment, resilience, and never giving up. It is an example that challenges only strengthen the prepared. Let us come together under the umbrella of a new Uganda. And yes, march together, all of us, men and women, young and old, rich and poor, towards that new Uganda. As I conclude, I want you to know that we are aware that Museveni prides himself in his record of rigging elections. And of course, that the Electoral Commission has always been helping him in achieving that. Well, today, let me send a message to him and Mr. Byabakama. Just like I've just told him in his face, I will tell him again publicly that it is in your best interest not to mess with the people of Uganda. I say this again, Mr. Museveni and Mr. Byabakama, it is in your best interest not to mess with the people of Uganda. Because if you do so, you know the cost will be high. So finally, to all the Ugandans out there in Uganda and abroad, we rally you not to treat this as an ordinary election, but as a revolutionary election. The stakes are high. The transition is in our face. Freedom is staring us in the face, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. The time is now. And we have entered the ring. I say we have entered the ring and we are not coming out. We only await to raise our fist in victory. Because this is the time, ladies and gentlemen. Kati tusimbudde. I say kati tusimbudde. This is it. This is a battle between the past and the future. I say this again, this is a battle between the past and the future, between the old and the new, between slavery and freedom. This is the defining moment. So, I want you to know, Ugandans, that power is in your hands. And it is this time where you choose to trust that power in a person that you decide. This is a mission to freedom. I say this again, this is a mission to freedom, not a mere election. We are removing a dictator. Say that after me. We are removing a dictator, and we are doing this peacefully and constitutionally and legally because we know that our laws provide for that. If we were born and there was no constitution in Uganda, we would bow to slavery. But when I read the constitution, it guarantees all this. When I remember what President Museveni said when he was my age, he said, what do you do when a regime has closed all avenues of peaceful change? Well, we have an avenue of peaceful change, and we know the world is watching us. We are going to be free. I say we are going to be free. And now, very, 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 very finally, I want to pay tribute to all the people that have been struggling, those that came before us, those that have lived before us. We are alive to the fact that we stand on your shoulders. We are alive to the fact that you inspired us to see the truth. And we call all upon you to stand by that truth. I want to respect Dr. Paulo Kawanga Semogerere. I want to respect Dr. Kiza Besigye. I want to respect Dr. Miriam Matembe and all other leaders who have paid the price in different ways. And of course, I want to salute all the comrades that have been murdered in cold blood in our pursuit for freedom. We stand by you. Your blood is still watering the tree of freedom. And I can guarantee you, comrades, wherever you lie, that we shall be free or we shall die trying to be free. I thank you for God and my country. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown in a new Uganda. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere.
All right, that has been, that was the speech the president of the National Unity Platform, our next president, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, commonly known as Bobiwine, gave after being nominated to run for the president of the Republic of Uganda. But what transpired after that speech, you all saw. Up to now, our spokesperson, Joel Sonyenyi, is still nursing wounds, and of course some other comrades. For our president, you know, he was brutally arrested and all that happened on that day. As we speak now, the president is in Kole, but as you can see, the network is a bit messy. It's off, it's on and off, it's not clear. But just like I always do for you guys, I'm going to give you a full speech uninterrupted. I'm going to give you a full speech uninterrupted, because if we opt to cast it live just like I'm trying to do here, the network is going to be on and off, and we are going to skip a lot of important information. Just like you can see, it's now paused. It pauses, it is on and off, on and off, on and off. That is Kole in his Lango sub-region. In Lango sub-region, the network is too poor, I can tell you. It's too poor. It is too poor. But thanks for watching. Those watching from Facebook, those watching from YouTube, you guys, thanks for pushing the message. You always ask, how does Bobiwine do it? As in, he goes deep down in the villages, and people still love him. People still yearn to see him, you know, to chant together slogans of people power, slogans of NUP. It is simply because of you people who have, you know, stayed to the truth, who have, you know, stuck to the truth, who have continued to share this message across borders of social media, across borders of Facebook, across borders of WhatsApp, YouTube, and all that kind of thing. The more you continue sharing this message, the more you push it beyond social media borders, the more people get the message, because you all know that it is close to 2 million Ugandans that are connected to the internet, and we are over 45 million Ugandans, so implying the other 25 millions are not connected to the internet, but they need to get this message. And not only that, it's only 28% of the entire 45 million that are connected to the national grid. The 78%, they are not connected to electricity. They don't know even how a bulb looks like. They don't know even how a switch looks like. So they have never seen electricity. They do not get this message, you know. So when you go out there and give it to them, you're doing a very great job. So let's not give up. Let's continue doing the same. Let me try getting this speech.
I want to request everybody who has a mask, please put it on. But even if you don't have it, we understand why you don't have it.
Yeah, it's going to be on and off. Let us just bear with it. I'll give you a full speech after. Yeah, it's going to be on and off. Oh my goodness, it's too poor, eh? It's too poor. It's too poor. Yeah, let me try to connect to another one and I see.
Other people call me Bobiwine.
But let's just bear with it. Let's just bear with it.
Because you saw me.
Let me try to see another way I can connect this, because I don't want you guys to miss.
Many of you, I come from the ghetto. Like many of you, I come from a poor background. And you contribute a lot to Uganda. We contribute to Uganda. But for 35 years. Now, I know many of you are young. In fact, the majority of you are younger than me. But the elders here, like Mama right there in the corner, this is a mission to freedom. And I know that many people are intimidated not to come here to listen to me. Many have been told that if they come to listen to Kyagulanyi, they are going to be shot. And others, they've told them that they will take them to prison. But because I am here, I want you to get confidence that
I will not put it off however much the network is too messy. Yeah, let's just bear with it, those that can bear with it, because it is poor everywhere. I tried looking around for a clear camera, I couldn't get one. So let's just go with this, and then later on we see what we can do. Yeah, thanks for keeping around. It's going to be pausing, going off, coming back, and all that kind of thing. That is our country. This is Uganda. For the past 35 years, a district which has a population close to 500,000 Ugandans doesn't have a stable internet connection. It doesn't. This is what you can get. And then you hear them talk about scientific elections. You talk about them having rallies on social media and all that kind of thing. But I don't blame them. Their ideology is that of 1940, but we are a 2020, or we are a different breed of a generation, totally different from theirs, but they still want us to go their way. No, it won't work out. It will not work out. Tujja kukiriza bintu byabwe. Twabigana ate nga tuli serious. Twabigana ate nga tuli serious. Yeah, the network is too messy. Okay, let me see.
Stop the music, my brother.
Okay, let me try to get you the audio. At least the audio is going to work far much better than the video. Yeah, let me get you the audio of the speech right now. Let me tap from the audio instead of video, because the video is totally failing. The network is too mess. Too mess. Let me see here. Yeah, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me try my best. Let me try my best. Come on. Yeah, let's go with the audio instead. Let's go with the audio instead. This is the type of internet these guys of 1986 want this generation to use. Man, for us, we are addicted to good things. We are addicted to super fast internet. We are addicted to good service delivery. We are addicted to, so you can't force us to like your things. I'm still trying out, guys. Just be patient a minute. Just be patient a minute. Yeah.
I know that if a woman had a complication at night, there will be high chances of dying. I will not talk about the unemployed, about the veterans that Museveni has been promising to pay every year but not paying them. I will not talk about your cattle that was taken in the insurgency and Museveni has been promising to pay. There is so much that we can talk about. But because there is no time, and because we have to cover so many districts, and because we must use impassable roads, the roads that Museveni himself can never pass, I will not go into all that. But I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, that this can change. And this will change. I also want to tell you that it is not me who is going to change it. I say it is not me who is going to change it. It is you. It is you. You have the power to change this. You can change this with your vote. Your vote doesn't matter. But I also want to break that lie. Now for the young people that are here, I know we are the majority in Uganda. That is why they come to you and give you 5,000 or 10,000 shillings. That is why they come to you and give you a free t-shirt. And when you refuse, that is why they pick you or put you in the police station. Because they are scared of what you can do. And I want to ask all of you, let us do what they are scared about. Let us come together. I say let us come together and use that power. That power is in our vote. The number one solution is so I before you asking you to vote me as president. Not just to be president and enjoy the convoys. Because I already have a convoy and all those soldiers. Do you know why all those police officers and soldiers are following me? Because I am already president. But that is not enough. You have the power. So my brothers and sisters, on the 14th of January, I want to ask all of you to come out in large numbers and vote. Come out in large numbers and vote. Let me see those that registered to be voters. If you're a voter, let me see your hand in the air. Yes, now you are very powerful. And send that message even to those that stayed home, the old and the sick. Help them to come and vote. When you go to the polling station, you will not see the name Bobiwine. You will see the name Kyagulanyi, Ssentamu, Robert. And you will see the umbrella. And besides that umbrella, you will also see your MP. Her name is Lona Eunice Akulu. And besides her name, you see the umbrella. So when you see the umbrella, just tick. When you see the umbrella, just tick. And after voting, please don't leave the polling station. Stay there and get that vote. When we do that, we will be able to change our country. When we do that, you will start seeing this railway working. You will be able to sit on the train and this railway will take you to Kampala and back. This railway is supposed to take you to Nairobi and back. This railway is not supposed to be for decoration. It is not supposed to be a market. This railway is not supposed to be a market. This railway you see here, it was working before you were born. It is Museveni that destroyed it. But after we remove Museveni, it will work again. I say it will work again. And you will use it. And you will see that in your lifetime. That is a promise to you. We are not going to start this. It was done before by the leaders that loved their country. Museveni talks bad about Amin, but during Amin's time this railway was working. Museveni talks bad about President Obote, but during President Obote's time this railway was working. The general was working. The schools were good. The hospitals were good. So it is not going to start with us. We are only going to recover and restore what Museveni has destroyed. My brothers and sisters, there's so much to say. I said there's so much to say today, but so little time. So allow me to just recognize these people. I want to start with my sister here, the Honorable to be Lona Eunice Akulu. I want to recognize my brother Omang Emmanuel. Our LC5. I want to recognize my brother Opio Boni. LC3 over years and counting. I want to recognize my brother Okelo Hassan. That is the area councillor. I want to recognize my brother Aloyo. I want to recognize Opio Hudson. I want to recognize Enon Peter. I want to recognize Adong Miram. I want to recognize Etienne.
Yes, my friends who are watching, that is His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, as is talking the people of over our country, but he finds there are people waiting.
I want to ask all of us to clap for a young man called Adonyo Michael. Pick up yourself, Adonyo. Thank you for standing in the for the sake of this country. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for listening to me. and allow us to proceed to the next destination, because this is a mission to freedom. I say we are fighting for the people of Kole. I say we are fighting.
Oh yes, that's what I was, yeah, that was what I was able to get you from Kole. The network is too poor, just like you can see, too poor, but at least the people have been there, just like you can see here. Yeah, people have been there listening to the revolutionary message from the president of the National Unity Platform, His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. Yeah, but I promise you to get you a video. If I fail to get a video, at least I'll get an audio and put there a cover photo, such that people can spread this message beyond. Yeah, because these messages are so rich with the information. That's why Museveni and his people continue to block Kyagulanyi, continue to block people from coming, you know, to listen to such messages, because they know he's going to, you know, open up the mentally enslaved Ugandans that are stuck deep down in waters of submission. So for us, let us do our part and make sure that the message spreads beyond social media borders. And let me see. Okay, let me first organize something here.
obuvunanyizibwa okulaga bana abantu nti tetuli bayaaye. Tulina obuvunanyizibwa okulaga bana abantu nti tuli baddembe. Bavubuka bannange, ensi yonna si Afrika yokka, naye ensi yonna etunuulidde Uganda.
From the other side, our comrade Norbert Ariho, Bobiwine is die hard, the one that was framed just of recent, the one who was arrested in Mbale by Mwesigwa, Asimwe, by Asimwe Mwesigwa, Namanyaga Visagala Gamanya, Tamutegera face, Nedinya Lady Murio Kariwarimara. So, is in court as we speak now. I think let me interswitch and show you that update. Since the network here is a bit messy, let me at least switch to the court session that's going on right now. Yes. You want to tell me in Kayunga the network is also poor because he has been brought in court. This is Kayunga. Yeah, this is Kayunga. That's where our lawyer Shamimu Malende is. Yeah. But of course we are going to get all the updates from the court. We are going to get all the updates from the court. Kyogamba yona internet network ekyankalanyi kana abasajja nga batidde nnyo bajja tusobola ne banaakola batya. Someone is correcting me here. Is called Kawesi Sophie. Is telling me JB the word is not waters, the word is water. I just need to remind you, for us we studied in UPE schools of Museveni, we don't know too much English. The little that we can say Just to go with that. Hey! The word is water, not waters. Whatever the case, provided you understand what I'm saying. Nenga, thank you for that correction. Thank you for that correction. Thank you for that correction. I'm trying my best to it is failing out, eh? It is failing out. But yes, just like I just told you, our brother and comrade Norbert Aliho, I'm very sure you know, you have been following the story ever since that funny video leaked where someone was framing him, tismanye yakubye akapakati gas and all that kind of thing, and then enanga nava nayogera bujwanga gwatera okwogera manye enanga obajjanywedde biki enanga. Man, these people, where do they get them? People like enanga oba yajjanywedde biki. And then he started uttering stuff that doesn't add up, you know. It's kinda tricky. Abantu abatayina abatali armed kyokka gwe n'ogamba nti ate yoli ye yakutte akakebe ate n'akeekanyugira, abantu bano tebaswala na kuswala agawalayi, tebaswala na kuswala. So Muganda waffe ali mu court as we speak now, and I'm going to try my best to give you that live feed. I'm going to try my best to give you that live feed. Teri kuzikiza ekyo mukimanyi si bwe kiri.
just boxed him and without a wound. It implies they have assaulted him, whether there are wounds or not. You get that? Yes. Assaulting is not determined by the number of wounds in the body. No, this is temporary as much as if they are over, we declare not to relate to us this story. You have anything for ignorance mistake? I'm just asking you a few questions. This event happened in the night. How were you able to identify
After the first rally in Kole, we are still in Lamu sub-region.
Is it because of the sound light? What distance were you at the point of seeing this one? About what distance? 7 meters? From there and yet the goal. 8 to 10 meters. How long was this fight? Did it take place? 1 minute. Who is the likely witness your likely this case is adjourned to 30th. You say the father here. We are doing sex Yes, Robert. Yes. You suspect him that his leg is gone? I will have to look at that. That's all we want to do. Where's the witness? That's also give you attention. That's the police officer who has to do this in some way. Okay. They didn't give a priority to let him go, and you can proceed that way. Okay. So, there you go. There. Now this is witness number 3 in the round. You need to be guided.
Okay guys, you know there are very many updates coming in, but as we speak now, our president has been blocked from heading to Lebotong. Yes, has been blocked, and I'm going to, I think I have to switch very fast and give you that live update as well. But allow me take off this right now. Let me end this now and then start another one right now, where I'm supposed to bring to you that update when the president is being blocked. Yeah, he has been blocked from proceeding to Lebotong. Yeah, he's blocked from proceeding to Lebotong. Let me prepare right now to give you that live update. Okay, let me take off this now. Let me take off this now. But for those who missed the documentary, the incredible story of our president Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, there is the link. I put it on our new TV, the New Generation TV. That's the link to just go and watch it for those who missed it. Those who missed it, there is the link. For those who missed the documentary, it is a very nice documentary that you don't need to miss out. Yeah, there is the link to the documentary. Let me get off now and then come back now. Yes, that's nobody Aliho. I'm coming back with the blocking of our president Kyagulanyi.